Tonight, Panorama investigates the companies willing to help tax dodgers.
If they said to us, we're acting as this client and they're doing tax evasion, we won't give them monkeys.
Right. The companies designing schemes to frustrate the taxman.
We've had Inland Revenue investigations on clients that have used companies like this and they haven't got to the money.
And the companies willing to turn a blind eye to crime.
In any other jury, they'll call it bribes, but this is the way India works.
Yeah.
You know, this is that income that we're talking about, which they're earning, and they want to keep abroad.
Yeah.
What I'm shocked by and concerned by is the apparent ease with which you discovered these people. It's just scratching the surface.
The companies we've investigated sell access to secretive tax havens where billions are hidden worldwide. And it all comes at a cost to the UK taxpayer. Tax dodging costs us an estimated £4 billion a year, and we're on the trail of people who, for a price, will help you do it.
Yes, good afternoon.
Using undercover reporters, we set out to discover how some of the UK's 2,500 corporate service providers really do business.
I'm interested in talking to somebody about forming an offshore company. Can you put me through to someone that knows what they're doing?
Our first undercover reporter is a retired businessman called Tony. He's posing as a millionaire with a problem. He's claiming to have £6 million he hasn't paid UK tax on, stashed in a Swiss bank account. And he's got to move it fast if he wants to dodge a big tax bill, thanks to a new tax agreement between Switzerland and the UK. First stop, York. And a firm called Turner Little. They specialise in setting up companies in the UK and abroad.
Are you James?
I am.
All right, pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You all right?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm sorry I'm late.
Tony meets the boss, company director James Turner. He's already had a meeting with the office manager.
Well, I've got this money in a Swiss bank and I haven't paid the tax on it.
Okay.
So what I need to do is get it out of there into a situation that I can control completely. Your guy said that I can achieve those objectives.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Helping Tony dodge tax is not a problem for James Turner. He's got a plan involving a secretive offshore tax haven and a way to hide Tony's money. A complicated cocktail of companies, bank accounts, trusts, and something called a foundation in the Central American country of Belize.
In this situation, it never links back to anybody. It doesn't link back to you and it doesn't link back to your family.
Right.
So it gives you complete confidentiality.
Right.
Tony, on paper, would no longer own his money, but he'd still be in control. James Turner tells our man they've already got 10,000 of these structures up and running. Secrecy guaranteed.
We've had Inland Revenue investigations on clients that have used companies like this and they haven't got to the money.
To help make sure the UK taxman can't find him, Tony needs to keep his name off the company paperwork. One solution: nominee directors. People who can be legitimately appointed to run companies on behalf of others. But Turner Little's nominees won't be running anything at all.
They don't even know what companies they act as director of.
Right.
So they don't know the name of it, they don't know whether it's been formed, where it's formed in the world, they don't know who you are, they've never heard of you, they don't know which country you bank in or with which bank.
Yeah.
They won't even know that they're a director, they just get paid.
Tony will need directors in Belize, but they'll be directors in name only. They won't even see the documents that are being signed in their names.
When the nominee service is used, we pass a resolution at day one to sign their signature by stamp. Okay, so we have a stamp of the nominee's signatures. which is kept in my safe. So the nominee never sees any paperwork at all. So there's only me.
While legally they're real directors, it's clearly a sham. In secret, Tony would be calling the shots. Tony the tax dodger has been offered complete confidentiality in an offshore tax haven and a way to control his money in secret. We showed our evidence to one of the UK's leading barristers specialising in white-collar crime cases.
It's simply a camouflage so that the authorities don't know who's holding the money. And of course, if this proceeded and the company was set up and it was set up in the way in which it's is being discussed, then plainly some very serious criminal offences would be committed.
Those potential crimes would be helping Tony cheat the revenue and launder the proceeds of crime. The total cost of the package on offer from Turner Little, £26,000, a fraction of what Tony would have owed the taxman.
I just don't feel like writing the words Inland Revenue on the top of a cheque. Not for that sort of money.
I'm with you.
I suppose I'm dodging tax, aren't I? So I should bring it in and pay the 40%. But
well, you're mitigating it, in my opinion.
Setting up complicated company structures is perfectly legal, but assisting tax evaders isn't.
There's my hand. We're doing some business.
Good stuff.
Okay.
James Turner and his office manager deny any allegations of criminal misconduct. Turner Little says it takes statutory and regulatory obligations seriously, and that once an internal investigation is completed, if appropriate, it will take action. Turner Little's plan to hide Tony from the taxman wouldn't work without those sham directors. The danger of sham directors was exposed in the late 1990s as the result of a scandal involving the tiny Channel island of Sark. It became known as the Sark Lark. One islander was discovered to be the director of more than 1,300 companies in the UK.
What was wrong with the Sark Lark is that you cannot possibly give oversight, proper oversight to companies if you're a director of 300 companies, 1,000 companies. It's a total sham, and it could encourage the likes of tax evasion, criminality.
In 1999, the Labour government in the UK claimed that sham directors would no longer be tolerated. The law says that directors are responsible for the companies they run and should know what those companies are doing. In Guernsey, the authorities went further. Tough new legislation which they enforce.
We brought down the number of directorships in Sark, which was 15,000, clearly a sham, down to under 50, which is what you'd expect from a jurisdiction of 600 people. The Sark Lark was absolutely killed dead.
But we've discovered the Sark Lark is not dead. It's just moved and gone global. In a joint investigation with the Guardian newspaper and the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, we found a network of individuals and companies offering sham directors.
That's what this network is doing. It's just moving from one jurisdiction to another to, evade authorities and to continue to do the same thing. You're talking about, maybe a couple of hundred nominee directors. And so if they were all rounded up, that would probably fill a jumbo jet. And so therefore, if the authorities really wanted to stop this, it wouldn't be that difficult.
There may not be that many, but on paper at least, they run many thousands of companies worldwide. The biggest supplier of sham directors uncovered by our investigation is called Atlas Corporate Services. They're based in Dubai. This is where we met up with our second undercover reporter. He's posing as the representative of 5 Indian government figures who want to set up companies in the UK. He tells Atlas that his client's #1 priority is maximum confidentiality.
Luke. How you doing? At last we meet.
Nice to meet you.
Very good.
Atlas suggests nominee directors so his clients' names don't appear on company paperwork.
A huge part of our business is our nominee side of the business, where we offer nominee directors, nominee shareholders. We can offer nominee bank signatories. We can keep your client's name away from the company itself.
Would these nominees get involved in the running of the company?
Half of our nominees aren't aware of the companies they're appointed on.
Sorry, they're not aware?
They're not involved. They're names that you can put on the company, so your client's names aren't on the company. We'll get signatures when you need them, but the nominees will not be involved at all.
So now our man knows he can get sham directors to help hide his clients, those fictional government figures. Time to tell Atlas why. They've made their money taking bribes.
This is commission that they earn
for
awarding contracts to the highest bidder or to the best bidder. In any other jury they'll call it bribes, but this is the way India works. This is that income that we're talking about, which they're earning and they want to keep abroad. If you're happy with that, you're happy with that, and they don't want.
Not only is the phone ringing, but alarm bells should be too. The men from Atlas are being asked to help hide the proceeds of crime. Would they show our man the door? No.
Anyway, so that's what it is. This is their income derived from what other people would say bribes, but this is the way India works.
To hide his clients completely, our reporter suggests he fronts for them. Atlas didn't agree to that. They say banks opening company accounts would want to know who the real owners are. Time to talk money.
So it's about 10 grand to kick it off. And will I do it here?
Well, there's probably no reason to travel. We can do it all remotely on emails.
They do email our reporter later to say that they are excited about doing business with him. A man who wants to set up UK companies using sham directors for corrupt Indian government figures.
And if you've been told that it's the proceeds of crime, as they appear to have been on this occasion, then it's straightforward. If we have companies attracting serious criminals to hide their money in the UK, then that's important to the UK, and it's important to us as the public. It means we're not being protected.
Atlas told us they regret that our meetings with them left them open to misinterpretation, and that they have never knowingly engaged in any illegal activity. We wanted to find the man behind Atlas, the boss. We had to travel even further. Mauritius, the new island home of Atlas chairman and founder Jesse Hester. He's no stranger to island living. He used to live on Sark in the Channel Islands and is one of the original sham directors, a Sark locker. We sent our tax-dodging businessman Tony to meet him.
That's me. I apologise, but...
How are you, Jess?
Even better. I'm going to sit down. Easier if I sit down.
Yes, okay.
It didn't start well.
I'll be honest with you, it's very unusual. I've been in business for someone to phone one day on the internet and then fly down.
Well, no, I don't doubt it. So, I can imagine you're very suspicious. But it's...
I was more thinking along the lines you might have been involved with the press.
Time for some quick talking.
Check me out there. You've got my address. You can check that out. You've got my passport. My address is on that.
Yeah, no, it's just likewise we want to know who you're working.
No, I fully understand.
That was close, but within 15 minutes, Jesse Hester is suggesting a solution to Tony's tax problem. It involves another anonymous foundation, this time in Panama, because it's especially secretive.
They'll only disclose any information if it's deemed as a criminal offence taking place actually in Panama. So if there's a tax issue, they won't, in any other country, they won't disclose any information on that foundation under Panamanian law.
The risk of getting caught? Very low, according to Mr. Hester.
And it's quite rare. Tax authorities don't have the resources to chase everybody down. They reckon it's probably the same rough odds as probably winning the lottery as...
Yeah, as being caught, yeah.
Yeah.
So the odds look good, but Tony still has a choice.